Hi, my pickles, my snowflakes, my turtles, my no matter what club members, and my favorite, of course, are the Goldilocks. Love to count myself as a Goldilocks. That's when things just have to be. And that's how I get about my coffee. It's also how I am about my um, beef. I like my beef just cooked a certain way. And it's no rhyme or reason. I find that being spoiled getting to go to the butcher, I can get it thicker. So then the inside part can be just the way that I like it, which is usually medium rare. And so that always excites me. I'm not a thin meat person. It was funny. Last night I went to the big family gathering that Greg's family has every year. There's like 75 people. And when we got there, there was a few racks of like the kidney lamb chops that had been done, and they were like rare and fatty and gorgeous. And I didn't want to dive into them because I'm waiting for the prime rib, which is always big, fat, succulent. The bones are cooked underneath. I love gnawing on the bones. I was so excited. And out came the prime rib, and it was more like an eye of the round. There was no fat around it. And he thin sliced it. It was beautifully cut if you like thick bologna. And it just didn't taste, I mean, there was, oh, I was so sad. But I was also very, very grateful that I devoured two of those lamb chops. And because I didn't know, how well done the prime rib would be. So it didn't suit my fancy brat that I am because I'm a Goldilocks. So anyway, I did have the lamb chops, and then I brought in case of emergency, have my cassoulet, and it's this little, actually I got it at Kohl's, I think, about 5 years ago, cassoulet from Bobby Flay, and it's rather cute. And so in it, I put hot spicy sausage from Whole Foods, and then the burger from the butcher, and I think one slice of cheese. I mean, it couldn't be more rudimentary, but to me, it's a casserole. And I had that, and I escaped all of the goodies. How do you guys do that? For me, it's just the once a year, visual triggering party. Watching, there were probably 75 people there. Like 20 of them were kids, but you know, just all the different foods and all the different, it was a carb extravaganza. And so anyway, I made it through, and no taste, a couple of whiffs off of Greg's plate with his, favorite fare. But otherwise, it was just food. But I was thinking back because I've been going to these now for 13 years, and how I felt the Sunday after Christmas, after overeating from, a day or two before Thanksgiving all the way through, and how just beat up I was from the standard American diet, and how, I remember just going and still stuffing in the stuff because it was a different party than the other party. So there were, family favorites from this party and friend favorites at that party. And then the cookie parties. I don't know if you ever went to a cookie party where you bring like, I don't know, what is it? Like something like, a dozen cookies, like times seven or so of the other people, and you exchanged, and everybody went home with like 7 dozen cookies from the other people, and how just enmeshed, entrenched I was in the sugar, white flour, bad oil type of lifestyle, not knowing. And then to get to that Sunday, because I'm sure that a lot of those people that were there yesterday, for them it was their final hurrah. Maybe they have to do New Year's Eve too, but it's like counting the days till they can begin January 1st or January 2nd. I always said first. What? That's when you do your food funerals, right? What is a food funeral? A food funeral where you are the receptacle, not the trash where it should be going. You're just like pouring it in, chewing it away because you're not going to have it for another year the way that she or he makes it, that sort of stuff. Done. Gone. Bye, girlie. It's time to get back on track. Well, fortunately, I don't have to get back on track. I'm on the track. The wheels are greased with my fatty meats and my good butters. And here we go. And so, if any of you are planning on being carnivore beginning on January 1st with all the carnivore hoopla, good for you. Give it a week. Give it 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Give it those 30 days that a lot of carnivore veterans say to give it. Don't just give it a day and say, well, that didn't work. You're in this for your life, for your lifestyle, for your labs. Ooh, all these L words. This should be brought to you by the letter L. It's a lovely program, and you will have no regrets. You know, I can't say enough good things about carnivore. And, you know, it was Mike, you know, from Keto Mad, who was doing carnivore before. You know, it's like, yeah, you have that. That's fine. Good for you. I'm not, no way. I have to have my pizza every Saturday. You're not touching it. Well, it's a pizza mizza now. There's no almond flour, no extra spices. It's just, wow. I never thought I'd be here, and yet I am. So for a lot of you, you may have the same story as me, where you slowly eased into it. There was still a couple of carnivishy times that you had, and then for other people, you just dove right in. So I'm all in, and with carnivore, never felt so good, never had the energy. You know, I think of the things that I'm capable of doing today that I don't even think twice about. You know, I explain it a little bit more in a future video, but the energy that I need or use in doing my Uber and Lyft days and what I have to do to prep my car that I do at the end of my shift, my own designated shift, because you make your own hours, to get ready for the next day. So, you know, it's vacuumed, it's washed, it's gassed up, it's, you know, then I clean the WeatherTech mats with like a real pretty Lysol type thing after I've scrubbed it, because salt doesn't really go away with a vacuum, you know. And I get it all ready, Windexing the windows and all of that. And, you know, the energy that I have for that I never would have had, the feeling okay about going out and doing an errand, you know, after my day. It's like I used to like not do them. That's how it went. But now I've just got this boundless energy, and I'm almost 70, and well, I'm almost 69 and a half. And so, you know, I can keep going. And I'm just so surprised. The non-scale victories, if you want to know what a lot of them are, go and listen to Jim from Beating Obesity, where he does the Imagine video that he has, where he does his Imagine with all his non-scale victories. And mine are a lot like that, too, with a few other ones. And I was thinking, wouldn't that be cool if we all did an Imagine that with our own non-scale victories? I probably shouldn't say that, because some people say, yeah, that's a good idea. And who knows, maybe that'll come. But I know that I'd have to be jotting down what all the non-scale victories are, because sometimes I'll come across one and I'll say, wow, that's cool. I forgot that used to not be like that, right? So anyway, this is just a quickie, because I've already got a video today brought to you by the letter T. And so this came from, you know me, I love my men's health. And this is all about butter, but better. And it's interesting. I'll talk a little bit about each one. But the interesting thing is there's no Kerrygold, which is kind of funny, right? And so these are the ones that they give little reviews to. There's Cultured, which is Vermont Creamery, and where I shop at Market Basket, my market where I go for things. They're $2.99 for 2 sticks. If I go to like Whole Foods or the retail grocery stores closer to my home, they're $3.99, of course. So it's Vermont Creamery, unsalted, cultured butter, 86% butter fat. And it comes like in a cardboard box with kind of like a homey type of label on it. And it says cultured butter means that manufacturers added bacteria and allowed the fermentation, which leads to a fuller flavor and texture. This is luscious, one taster wrote, almost velvety. And then, of course, all you need is a hearty bread. Here's a hearty laugh to the hearty bread. Ha! So that's that one. Then this one is lightly salted. Where am I? God, I can't read backwards. This one. So that's what the label looks like. SMJOR. It's a pleasant, balanced, beautiful taste, reported one taster, that is heightened, not overpowered by salt. It's heavenly melted and drizzled over scallops or lobster. Well, thank you for that. There's your perfect New Year's Eve meal, scallops and lobster with some more butter drizzled on it. The next one is Breakstone Whipped. I'm sure you've all seen it. It's pretty commercial. Unsalted whipped. If you like a lighter flavor to your butter, whipped is the way to go. The makers whisk air into the butter, resulting in a fluffier texture. And of course, it ends with hand me a muffin. I know that Kerry Gold has a whipped one too. But be careful, because I've seen some Kerry Gold butter styles from that company with canola oil in them. So be careful. Read your label if you're not buying, the block of butter. The next one is cooking, and this is Plugra, and it was 2 for $5. 2 for $5 at Stop and Shop all last week. I loved it. It has the heartiest taste of all the butters I've used over the years, even more than Kerry Gold, and I find it delicious. They put here for cooking. There's that little label, Plugra. Strong, potent. This is a butter with flex. It's tough enough to retain its rich flavor through searing or sautéing. It comes in a salted version too, but you can always add salt later if you need it. It says can't take the salt away. I know a lot of people cook in unsalted butters because they like their own. They like to know what salt is used. Some labels say it, but then others don't. So if you're a, certain type of salt purist, buy the unsalted and add your own Redmonds when you're done. Salt to taste. That's what I say. And I remember Richard from Keto Mechanic. He tried, I don't know if it was this brand once, but they've got it advertised here, and I still haven't seen it anywhere around here. But it's given the wild card dubbing, and right there. And it's goat milk. St. Helens Farm goat's butter. Yes, goat butter. Looks like butter, tastes like cheese, according to one taster. Yet it's not too funky. Spread it, of course, on crusted, you-know-what. Melt it over green beans. Brown it for butternut squash ravioli. Oh, good Lord. Anyway, how to have taste in your butter and be a standard American dieter. But I just thought I'd point that out, because this is just a quickie that's taking the entire time as a cuppa. So anyway, we're a couple of nights away from the launch of Carnivore, if you're not already doing. So my old lady wish for you is that you find it, discover it, try it. Maybe you have to be carnivish at first as you eliminate things, but maybe it'll get to the point where it's carnivore all the way, baby. Somebody was hounding me about the coffee that I continue to drink, as if I'm the only one. That person has been blocked because they needed a project, and I guess I was it. So sadly, I am still drinking my coffee, and along with many other carnivore people. So that to me is a personal choice. It will go if it goes, and if not, it stays. It's one of my guilty pleasures that carries me. I put added fat in it. I use ghee, I use Kerry Gold, I use Plugra butter, and no turning back. So anyway, just a couple of days before the carnivore rush kicks in, just wanted you to think about it. If you're still on the fence, you've got time to watch a few videos. I suggest watching same-sex videos. If you're a woman, watch woman carnivores, or go to woman Facebook pages. It's very helpful to watch the men's videos. I still do that too because I like all videos about carnivore. But if you're on the fence and you're an older woman, trust me, trust in the process. It helps. It works. I just, I was languishing in keto land, like I was in late stage keto before I made the plunge. Thank you, Mike from Carnomad, and no turning back. Now to me, it's just as right as rain, and I just look forward to it every day. And just like how it was with each food plan that I've done along the decades, I become committed. I'm all in, all freaking in. And it's just the easiest thing in the world because once you're in, here's your food list. It's simpler than any other food list you've ever had if you're having animal products only. And that's that, Can you have a veg every now and then? I suppose. I'm having coffee. Lightning hasn't struck me. It struck me when I was a little girl, but it hasn't struck me since I've had coffee doing carnivore. So follow your gut. Follow what you said. If you watch the Carnomad interview done on Saturday, the 28th, with Mike and gosh, he did it with two people, and now I'm spacing on their names. One of them has the last name of Statham, and all I can think of is Jason Statham. Sorry, I get distracted. But anyway, it's a great welcome to carnivore video, and it was just charming in so many ways with the three guys, and they are so welcoming and so wanting to be helpful and not this rigid, you must do this and that. It was great. So go to Carnomad's YouTube channel and watch it. It was the interview done Saturday, December 28th. And they gave away lots of different websites. One is MeatRx. I think that might be, I'm not sure, Sean Baker's. He's got one. Some of them you must pay. But might not be the worst thing in the world. There's tons of Facebook places out there for women only, and then anybody. It's not the worst thing in the world, I'm telling you. And when I was almost all in, there were still a couple of items that had to be culled from my regular food menu, and now they're gone. And so I am all in, and I have no regrets. And weight becomes secondary to the energy and the non-scale victories. So if I can leave you with that takeaway, go ahead, give it a try. You won't regret it. Well, maybe you will. So that's not for me to tell you you won't regret it. What is for me to say is that if you felt as good as I feel right now, take the plunge. Go ahead. Go ahead. Happy New Year. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.